The other day I did a quick update on Maggie, so today I'm going to do the same thing with Tessie because she had a really surprising end of the year evaluation at school. Now technically Tessie's been enrolled in preschool this year, but she has been doing it all at home, and honestly it has been pretty laid back. I've been so busy with all the older kids that Tessie's been pretty unschooled this year. Actually, Tessie's been pretty free range. Part of that was also because Tessie had 2 years of pretty intensive school where she was there all the time, and that was from 2 to 4. So I decided that Tessie got to be a kid for a while and kind of do her own thing. But I still wanted Tessie to do the end of the year evaluations so that next year in kindergarten, the teachers know what Tessie's going to be like when she gets to the school. And the speech therapist that sees Maggie and Patrick had sent a note to the special education teacher that Tessie was going to be coming in, so she was going to be there. And so Tessie and I headed up to the elementary school for Tessie to have her little end of the year meeting.
Good morning.
Oh, big yawn.
Say.
I think Say is still asleep. I don't think she's woken up yet.
Tessie and I already went to kindergarten roundup, which was the only other time this year that she's gone up to the school. And it was pretty wild. Tessie was so excited that she was on the extra hyper end of hyperactive. She didn't want to hold my hand. She wanted to look at everything in every classroom. It was not one of our best moments. Anyways, so I kind of expected that to be what happened when she went in for the end of the year evaluation. And that was completely and totally not what happened at all. She went there and she didn't want to hold my hand when we first got there, which was kind of awkward because I couldn't just let her go and run wild through the school. But then she kind of settled in. She actually had me pick her up and carry her to the preschool classroom, which was where the evaluation was going to be, which was surprising because usually she doesn't want me to carry her anymore. But I carried her over there, and then when we got to the door, she got down. It was going to start with them seeing if she could write her name. So I helped her, walked with her, holding her hand over to this little chair, and she sat down in the chair. Now in Tessie's old classroom, she had to do a lot of sitting in a chair at a desk. And it was like, it came back to her, which I have a lot of feelings about. However, that's not what today is about. Today I want to talk about how Tessie did it this particular day. So she sat in the chair and she colored and colored and colored really intensely with a marker. She didn't write her name, but she did like tons of spirals very intensely all over the paper. And when that was done, she got up and kind of explored the room, went over, looked at all sorts of things. And then she found this basket of dolls, full of dolls. She started bringing dolls back over to the table. And then finally she picked up this really heavy basket. I mean, it was like this big, full of dolls. And she brought it back to the table and she put a ton of dolls in a circle on the table. So all the dolls were facing each other and she very carefully put them all around in a circle. And she did that, which took up pretty much the entire meeting. No climbing, no distraction, nothing like that. Twice she went over and tried to wash her hands in the sink, which was a little bit awkward because it was like full of cleaning stuff. So I stopped her and dried off her hands with a towel. But again, nothing super bad. And then she ran back over to the table and went back to playing with the dolls. And then at the end, when we were wrapping things up, she started one by one taking all of the dolls and putting them into the basket. And she cleaned up the whole entire table, which shocked me because I've never, ever, ever, ever seen Tessie clean up in her entire life. People have asked this. Maggie actually is a really good cleaner upper, and when I start cleaning up, I can't like say, Maggie, go clean up your room, and she will not go clean up her room. But if I'm cleaning up, Maggie will come and clean up with me. Heck, she will grab a towel if there's one available and start like cleaning up the walls. If Tessie's colored on the walls, she cleans up, she'll wipe down the table. She'll if she's able to, and there's a sink there, if she's in a room with a sink, she will wash dishes and put them in the dishwasher. She can do a lot of chores. I don't film a lot of our everyday life anymore, so you don't get to see that. But Maggie can do Maggie has quite a few life skills. Tessie is littler, and honestly I was shocked because I did not know. Well, I mean, obviously I knew physically she was capable of putting things away, but I had never seen her do that. She's just at home still very much at the, oh look, all the toys are put in the toy box. Let's dump the whole thing out. So I was shocked to see her put toys away voluntarily and then like smile sweetly at everyone. Like, she was so on her best behavior. In other news, today, just today, the child who usually says like a word a month said mama, apple, and cookie. Cookie because my mom had brought over peanut butter cookies she'd made when she came to see the kids. Apple, she wanted an apple. She was all upset and all of a sudden she said apple. And I was like, you just said. And I gave her an apple. She'd been crying. She stopped crying and she was happy and it was wonderful. It was great. And then when I gave her the apple, she said, apple, mama. So two words together. That was pretty awesome too. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for today. That is it for today. If you like this video, I would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in all things autism, I would love it if you could harness on Saturday. Harness on Saturday. Yep, harness on Saturday, just like every other Saturday. I'd love it if you'd hit subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.